Clutch Trucker Film Before Live studio audience. That's Rusty, the world-famous Meatball Dog. Hey YouTube, Clutch Trucker here. Thanks for tuning in to another edition of the Clutch Trucker channel. Okay, unfortunately not a lot easy for me to say. Not a lot of progress today. Run into a couple more snags. Trying to shore up the boards that are sticking out, like you can see the one up there behind me. Right there, I'm pointing to it. On the inside, against the wall, and everything the way I wanted to do it, I'm not going to be able to do it that way. So I had to kind of come up with a whole new plan, and so I went to Menards again, and boy, I couldn't work there. I am so sick of hearing that jingle. You'll spend more money when you shop Menards. And this week at Menards, everything you need is not going to be on sale. That's right, only stuff will be on sale that you don't want or need at Menards. Anyway, did come up with a neat plan for one of my APU ducts to lead up to the upper bunk area. Let's look at that. Alright, when I was up here last night putting these bolts in the wall and the support that were already there to support the whole rear structure, I was looking over at the vents up there again. And if you look up underneath there, you can see the ducting going from that vent. Starts down here on the rear AC heater unit. Comes up, hits that vent. You see the ducting up there. And it goes to that vent. And I was looking at this panel on this side. All it has is a light and two switches. And there's room below it. I figured if a duct can fit in that side, I bet you it can fit in this side. So I pulled that panel apart, and it pulls off the wall real easily. It looks like I can get the ductwork back up there in that corner, coming from the APU down here below the tray. I'm going to have to cut through that wall down there to do it, to get it into that corner piece. But I have, I think that's a 3-inch, maybe a 4-inch duct line. I have a cutter that'll do a hole that big, or I can just, jimmy rig it. Anyway, so if I can run at least one of the duct lines from the APU, it does have the vent on the front right there, but one of them up into the wall and popping out in the upper bunk area in that panel, well, that'll just even look more professional and it'll be more hidden. The other one's going to come up. I'm going to have a hidden area here for wires and plugs into stuff anyway, going up into this cabinet, and it'll shoot out the cabinet this way just like it did before when that cabinet was up here. And that way, all my ductwork will be completely hidden. And then I did want to address this one issue because so many people keep putting it in the comments. They're saying, well, you're sticking out, pretty far behind your fairing there in the back there, Clutch Trucker. How about the trailer swing? Well, first off, look at this truck. Compared to most, so there's the back of the cab way back there. These fairings are 20 inches long. I have a much longer catwalk between the back of the truck and the first set of drive tires than most big trucks do on the road. This is a much longer wheelbase, for one. My trailer, the front of it sits right about here, just behind this little rubber thing. Okay? And believe me, before I even started this whole project, I measured. Right where this pole's coming down, that's just now supporting that rear deck until I get it shored up inside. I still have a good few inches past that as if the trailer were turning. So this would be its furthest point if it's turning, okay, right about here. And I've still got a few more inches. Okay, so that's as close as it's ever going to get. Not to mention, if you look at my fifth wheel, I have 2 more teeth. I can slide this back this much farther. That'll give me about another 6 inches. So I'll have room on top of that. Because somebody said, well, what if you're going downhill or uphill, or if you're going down, a thing off a driveway? Even if I'm turning with the trailer as far forward as a corner of it would go, which would be about here, I still have this much extra room for it to bend in a little bit. Obviously, I'm just going to try to be very careful when coming off of a driveway onto a road or vice versa going up to make sure I'm not turning, because then I'll have 3 feet of clearance. So that's not going to be an issue. I wanted to address that. Then when I finally got the brackets cut off for the fairings last night, maybe I dawned on something else that I can do. I was going to have a local shop paint those fairings, but I thought of a whole different plan. Yeah, it was going to cost me like somewhere between $600 and $1,200 to have the local shop paint those fairings for me, the upper fairings only. And they weren't even going to be able to match the color. They said, you know, well, it'd be hard to match the color. I said, well, black's fine. I can go with black. Then last night I was thinking, and it dawned on me, hello, this is going to be covering that entire rear box sticking out the back of the cab, this diamond plate skin, and it's real thin. It's pliable, it's workable. So I thought, let's put that up there on the upper fairings. I think that would look kind of cool up there in a diamond plate for that upper little section. Plus it'll match that section sticking out the back you can see right there. I can do it under my time frame, and I won't spend $1,200. Plus they had said it was going to take them, they probably wouldn't even get to it till mid-November. So at least this way I can just put the diamond plate on there and stick it up, and when the project's done, that'll be done. And I will have saved much money when I don't, you know, whatever. So at least there's one really big money-saving idea. Plus, like I say, I can do it on my time for those fairings and cover those in the diamond plate. I think that'll look good. And plus, since now that won't be painted, if the exhaust pipes, like they have been doing, superheat that upper fairing, well, there won't be any paint to peel off now, will there? And I'm pretty excited to be able to run that duct work for the one vent for the APU up into that rear wall system. Why not? Let's take advantage of everything that's already there, and then it'll just look that much more professional when the whole thing's done. All right, since I had to go shopping at Menards, let me show you all the goodies I got. Got another drill bit set, because I need to be able to go. I did finish, and for those of you curious, yes, I put washers on those bolts on the back wall. Just when I showed it in the video from last night, they weren't in there yet. I was just testing for depth. I did put washers on all those. But anyway, I needed longer drill bits so I can go all the way through this board that's right up there behind me, through the outer wall, and through the board on the other side, and then put bolts through to really also shore that whole thing down. So, got some more bits, baby. Gotta love our bits. Alright, so got that. And then I got a whole bunch more bolts, you know, to do all this, because I had to rethink the whole shoring everything up. So I got more bolts for the rest of the project here. Bolts and nuts and, you know, washers. I don't know where the washers went. Oh, well, there's some of the ones I'm using, but I got these brackets because I figured out a different way now to put the board that's behind me to shore it up against the wall behind my back there where those bolts are already in the wall. There's going to be a 2x4 down there. I'm going to use this kind of bracket for the joist to shore it all together. I got some smaller bolts that I need to do for the one that's going to go on the side. Oh, and then of course, the Menards near the register, they got some candies. So I got a snack. I'm not going to toss that back there. But, you know, yeah, I just had to get some more crap. Kind of tired of giving my money to Menards. So unfortunately, not a lot to show you tonight, because I just, you know, had to hit a snag again. Had to rethink things, replan. I've got everything I need now to shore all this up tomorrow, to get it all finished up. Then I'm going to put the plank for the upper section that's sticking out, the board up there in the back. Everything will be fastened down on the inside. Then I can start building onto it and all that, yada, yada, yada. So there will be more building going on tomorrow. Unfortunately, just hit a quick snag today. It's basically resolved at this point. Just got to think about a few more things tonight. That's what I use my late nights for, is just kind of looking at everything, remeasuring everything, and making sure I knew what I'm doing. But I think that duct in the wall is going to be great, and I think I've got a new way to shore everything up that's going to make sure this whole system is held up perfectly. Like I said, as far as the build process, this is the slowest process again right now, because everything has to be structurally built into the truck at this point, well enough that, you know, everything's not going to be rattling around while I'm going down the road. We don't want stuff just bouncing around in there. So it's all going to be shored up and done. Then more of the building process can continue. All right, so tomorrow night's video, hopefully we'll have much more building, much more progress. Jim, who you saw in my video from last Wednesday, is going to be coming through again on Wednesday. So he said he'd offer to help again, so I'll have some help on Wednesday from him, which would be nice. So there'll be even more building coming up. Just get chugging along, and then you run into more hang-ups, I tell you. Getting it solved, but hardly anything done today. Not much to show you. So that's the way it is. At least, you know, I'm thinking through it, coming up with a solution, because the way I was going to do those, you know, shoring up everything on the inside with those brackets just didn't work the way I planned. But that's the way it is, Rusty, right? The door's open out there in the pole barn, so he's smelling all the Rusty smells out there, right? Yeah. Thanks for tuning in. As always, please subscribe. Please like and comment if you'd like to. I get your comments usually within 24 hours during this project. And as always, sniff that magic YouTube fairy dust. Clutch and Rusty, out. I don't trust that Ferris Bueller any further than I can throw him. Well, with your bad knee, Ed, you shouldn't be throwing anybody. Go soak your head. Rusty, look up here. Yeah. What's going on?